I can still recall the night she said it. So casually, it almost didn't sound real. We were on the couch, me half focused on a movie, her scrolling endlessly through her phone, barely glancing up. The screen's light painted her face as I talked about what we might do that weekend. She barely reacted. When I finally asked if she was even paying attention, she gave a slight smirk and said the words that split something inside me. "You're replaceable, you know." At first, I laughed, assuming it was a joke. But her tone wasn't playful. It was sharp, careless. The kind of sharp that cuts while pretending it doesn't mean to. "I'm serious," she added, still scrolling. "Don't act like you're the best thing that's happened to me. Everyone's replaceable. Mark, you too." Something in me just went quiet. Not angry, just empty. 3 years I spent being her calm, her steady ground, her support. And in that moment, I realized she only saw me as a placeholder. The cruel twist was that I'd built my entire life around her, reshaped my habits, let friendships fade, turned down career projects, all to make sure we worked. That night, I looked at her and said softly, "Then replace me." Her eyes lifted from the phone at last. She blinked, half amused. "Oh, come on. Don't be dramatic." "I'm not," I said. "You said I'm replaceable. So do it. Replace me." The silence that followed was thick. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I just stood, grabbed my jacket, and walked out. I don't think she actually believed I would. Maybe she thought I'd return by morning like always, apologizing for whatever invisible thing I'd supposedly done wrong. But this time, I didn't come back. I crashed at a friend's downtown apartment, on a couch that smelled like old pizza and stale coffee. It wasn't comfortable, but it was peaceful. For the first time in months, I could breathe without feeling like I had to earn my place in the room. Days passed, no calls, no texts, just silence. The kind of silence that tells you more than words ever could. Then on the 7th night, my phone lit up. Her name flashed across the screen, 11:43 p.m. exactly. I stared at it for a long time before answering. When I finally did, her voice was smaller than I remembered. Gone was the sharp confidence, replaced by something softer. "Mark," she said quietly, "can we talk?" I leaned back, eyes fixed on the ceiling. "About what?" "Replacements." She sighed. "You're mad. I get it. I didn't mean what I said that night." I let out a dry laugh. "You said it because you meant it. People don't draw knives they don't plan to use." There was a pause. "I was stupid, okay? I just wanted to get a reaction out of you. You've been distant lately, and I thought maybe..." "Maybe what?" I cut in. "That you'd hurt me into caring more?" She didn't answer. Just the sound of her shaky breathing filled the silence. For a second, I almost softened. Then I remembered every moment she made me feel small, every time my effort wasn't enough. "I'm sorry, Mark," she whispered. "I didn't think you'd actually leave." "That's the thing," I said quietly. "You never think I will. You think I'll always stay, no matter how many times you remind me I'm replaceable." There was another long silence. I could faintly hear music behind her voice, probably from her apartment, where everything I'd once called home still sat exactly where I left it. "Just come home," she said finally. "Please." "Home." I repeated. "That stopped being home the moment you decided I was optional." I ended the call. She texted afterward. Dozens of messages, apologies that turned into anger, then back into desperation. It was like watching her pride collapse in slow motion. A week later, she showed up at my office. Her eyes were red, makeup smudged, voice trembling. "Can we talk, please?" she asked. My co-workers glanced between us. I stepped outside, keeping my distance. She looked at me like I was a ghost she never expected to see again. "I get it now," she said, her voice breaking. "You weren't replaceable. You were irreplaceable." I looked at her, the same woman who once stood in our kitchen laughing about how easily I could be replaced. Now she stood shaking, eyes wet, holding on to the shattered remains of something she thought was unbreakable. "Do you remember what I said that night?" I asked. She nodded faintly. "You said, 'Then replace me.'" "And did you?" I asked. She shook her head. "I tried. I went out with someone. He was funny, charming, said all the right things. But the whole time I kept thinking about how he didn't know how I take my coffee, how he interrupted me mid-sentence, how he just... Her voice broke. He wasn't you. I let her words hang in the air. For once, I didn't rush to comfort her. I'd spent years doing that, patching her moods, softening her edges, absorbing her storms. This time I just listened. "Mark, I was wrong," she said. "I thought you'd always be there, no matter what. I pushed you just to see if you'd stay. But you didn't. And now everything feels quiet, empty." I took a slow breath. "That's the same silence you gave me every time I tried to reach you," I said. "Now you know what it sounds like." Tears streamed down her face, and for once, I could tell they were real. But sometimes realization comes too late. Love doesn't wait forever. It only offers warnings disguised as second chances. "I don't hate you," I said finally, "but I can't go back. You broke something that doesn't heal with sorry." She closed her eyes and nodded. "I know," she whispered. "I just needed you to know I see it now." I turned and walked away before she could say another word. The city air hit me cold but clean, like stepping out of a room that had run out of oxygen. That night, I sat by the window of my small apartment, watching lights scatter across the skyline. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel replaceable. I felt free. Because sometimes, walking away isn't the end of love. It's the beginning of self-respect.